We should advocate for an equal and orderly, multipolar world and a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, and make the global governance system more just and equitable.
Look, this is Trump's fault. This is Trump's fault. All of these countries in Africa and in the Middle East and in Asia joining together to try to come up with an alternative system to the system that America put in place, this is Trump's fault. The reliability of the United States is at question. The tariffs, they're ostracizing and alienating a lot of countries that we were allies with. This is Trump's fault. And honestly, as a citizen in America, hearing the Chinese president say what he just said, if what he said is true and he means what he says and they plan on doing it in an equitable, balanced, fair way, that shit sounds good as fuck to me. But the thing is, I don't trust them. Do you trust them? Do you trust China? Do you trust the Chinese Communist Party to keep their word? That's what you should be asking yourself. Because they speak pretty. What he just said, the promises they're making sound pretty. They sound fucking amazing. But do you trust them? The problem is it doesn't matter if you trust them. All of these fucking countries are. And that's because they're losing reliability in America. He says, do you trust Taco Trump? But the situation with Trump is different because Trump is just a figurehead. Trump is just a figurehead. You still got the American government, the reliability of the American government. You still got the three branches of government. You still got the checks and the quote unquote supposed checks and balances. With the Chinese party, Xi Jinping is like a fucking king, basically. So what happens when he dies? Let's say all these countries unite and they start a different system. And that system spreads to Europe. And Europe signs on. And everything is fine. Let's say Xi Jinping keeps his word. They're balanced. They're equitable. Everything is fine. What happens when he dies and the next person gets in power? And the next person's a fucking tyrant. But we're letting it happen, chat. We're letting it happen. We're letting it happen. Every single time America goes back on one of their promises, every single time America bullies one of the smaller countries that were ally, every time America seems to be a tyrant on the global stage, invading countries, bossing people around, taking resources, being obtuse, obscuring reality, spreading propaganda. Every time we do that in the open without the fucking veil that we use of freedom, every time we do that, we lose more and more allies. We lose more and more credibility. And this really started with Trump's first term, realistically. It's the destabilization of the current global structure under Trump's watch. And the problem is, it only takes one president to destabilize the entire structure. 2016, Trump started the destabilization. Biden was a fucking sleep at the wheel. He didn't do anything. He didn't go in any direction to repair any of the damage done. We got Trump again as president. The next president, it doesn't matter what he does because it's a chain reaction. It takes years and years, decades and decades and decades and decades and decades of strategy to gain that trust, to gain those allies, to gain that power base. You think that America just popped up one day and was the fucking hegemonic leader of the world? No, we worked on it for decades. It's a fucking multi-decade plan. He says, do we though? Saudi Arabia just signed a $140 billion security deal with us. Yeah, because Saudi Arabia is our lapdog, but I don't trust Saudi Arabia, bro. That's the other thing. You trust Saudi Arabia? I don't trust Saudi Arabia. I don't trust Israel. I don't trust Turkey. And the Europeans, they're not much better, bro. A lot of those countries, they're playing lip service. They're in the back of the stage playing lip service and observing the table. If this shit that Xi Jinping is orchestrating works, they'll flip on us in a second, bro. They'll flip us. I don't trust Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia will turn on us in a second.
What truly interesting is who was there rubbing shoulders with Xi. Russia's Vladimir Putin and India's Narendra Modi all shared a laugh with the Chinese leader on the sidelines, really almost literally rubbing shoulders. For Modi, it was his first trip to China in 7 years. Let's get right to CNN's Ivan Watson, who is in Tianjin, China, with this rather extraordinary summit. Ivan.
That's right, and it's wrapping up now. The leaders of countries from across the Middle East and Asia have been gathering in this huge building here. Where, they boast that they represent nearly 50% of the world's population, starting to see their motorcades leave now, John. And I think the enduring image is of those leaders of three of the world's largest countries.
He says, look up Taco Trump and you'll understand. Is it a video, Rob?
Russia, China, and India looking pretty cordial and happy together, and all agreeing that this is a time of global uncertainty, and they're all calling for some kind of newer, fairer system of government. A lot of digs taken at what they describe as a world order that's been dominated too much, they argue, by the U.S. since the collapse of the Soviet Union.